News, life, and beyond. New podcast, it's time you tap into it. Real life interviews, focus on your businesses. No propaganda or gimmicks, just two dawns. Steve J and Adam A. News, life, and beyond. News, life, and beyond. News, life, and beyond. News, life, and beyond.
All right, everybody, my name is Leo Ritrovato. I play the spoons, give a little story about my life, and you know how I got started playing the spoons. But yeah, so this is a little spoon session for you guys that I put together. And these are two solid silver spoons. A little tape on the bottom of them to keep me from getting blisters. So I hope you guys enjoy this.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, not the roast, I get gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
Go to work,
Yeah,
you know.
Now being in Texas and owning a gun, ain't it everybody can own a gun down there?
Yeah, you just can't bring them to school.
Oh, okay. Same
No,
law,
right.
same kind of law.
I had it out in my truck in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Truck. But again, it was you know, it was a stupid mistake to make. I was trying to show the gun off. I wasn't trying to do it to like hurt nobody.
Right. I get that. You were just trying to make people think you was the man, right?
Yeah. You know, I was looking for the rep, not to get my ass in trouble.
Right. I
But,
got that a little bit of trouble kind of like that in high school.
you know what I mean? Just it
I
was,
bought what I had back then, 25, and they told me, and it wasn't even mine. I was holding it from my boy, yo. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's like, yo, hold this down for me until the end of the school. So I did. And someone must have seen us pass it or something, but I overheard something being said. So I hit it. And the principal and them came and grabbed me up and said, yo, I heard you got a gun in school. I said, I ain't got no gun.
That's what I did. I denied it.
And they searched me and everything. So at the end of the day, I went back and got it and left. They never even found it.
See, with me, I was like, no, I ain't got no gun. That's all a lie. But they had already went out to the truck and pulled it out of my truck.
Yeah.
So, dude, and when I walk in there, the sheriffs are in there. You know, the Rains County police are there. And I'm standing there with my dad. My dad's looking at me like, what the fuck did you do now?
Right.
You know?
Now, do you get arrested for that, for bringing a gun to school?
Well, so they could have got me. The way Texas is, it's not like Connecticut.
Right.
Connecticut, you know, they'll throw you in jail. Even as a kid, they'll charge you.
Yeah.
You know, Texas, they pretty much gave me the option to either go to jail or go with my dad. I was trying to go to jail. My dad wanted to whoop my ass.
Yeah, and you didn't want to get ass whooping.
You know what I mean? So the cop was like, no, you're going with your father, you know?
Was your dad a big guy?
Huh?
Was your dad a big guy?
My dad was about 5'8", and
so a little Italian dude.
He was a little Italian dude, but dynamite comes in small packages.
Yeah.
Listen, when I tell you that motherfucker could get it in, he'll get it in a heartbeat.
Yee.
You know,
Yeah.
but he didn't have no problem putting knuckles to me from the age of 14. My dad's the only person that ever broke my nose.
Yo, my dad's French. in India. He got them big fucking hands, bro.
Yeah, me too, dude. Look at
Put a mitt on me, boy. I used to cry just because he would always spank you until you cry. So I would cry quick.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
ah. He's
Cry
like,
before the ass open even started.
yeah. Before I didn't even hit you yet.
Bro, I remember actually putting extra clothes on because I knew I was getting an ass whooping.
Oh man.
You ever done that? Put on like 3 pairs of jeans?
Nah, because I never knew I was getting an ass whooping until
Oh,
right before I
I
got
knew
an
when I was
ass
getting.
whooping.
Every time I got in trouble at school, I got an ass whooping.
Nah, because my mom didn't believe in hitting, but it was my dad. So if my mom was around, we were good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my mom wasn't like that. My mom wouldn't whoop me. I mean,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
had one times. My mom would grab the broom and smack you with the broom a few times.
My mom hit me with a
Because
piece
I'd
of
run.
pizza. That's the only time I ever got hit by her. She threw pizza at me. That was it.
I mean,
So yeah. So your dad comes and picks your badass up again from high school.
yeah.
Says you might as well quit school and go to work. So that's what you did. And how old
That's
are you about then?
So I was 17 then. I think I was 16 then. I was 16 then. I was a junior. I dropped out then. I went. Then I met. Well, I had already known Janine, Jordan, and Jackie and Johnny's mom.
All right,
Our,
she lives in Texas.
yeah, she went to school with me in Greenville High School.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so we didn't. I knew her. Like I went. I started going to school with Janine in junior high, so I knew her all the way back in junior high. But I didn't talk to her in junior high or none of that because she, like we hung out with different people. You know what I mean? Like she hung out with the kids that had ripped jeans and had the they would have been considered the headbangers back then.
Oh, okay.
And I was always playing football and stuff, so I was hanging out with the preppier kids. But as we got older in high school, she was hanging out with the preppier kids, and I was hanging out with the thugs. You know what I mean? So like our whole attitudes had changed. And I met her after I quit in Emory, and I saw her up on Wesley Street cruising one night, and I caught her eye, and she was looking at me.
Yeah, she hot now, so imagine back then.
Oh,
Woo!
bro, she was a hottie.
Yeah,
So
she's
she,
pretty now.
yeah, she was the one that got away. Janine was she was a she was a good person, man. You know what I mean? Like she was a really good mom.
Yeah.
Um, she was a good wife. I was just a knucklehead, bro. I couldn't be honestly. I had no business being a husband to anybody back then. I
Yeah.
was a,
So
you know,
you guys met in high school, but you
junior high.
guys never in junior high?
Yeah, we
All
knew each
right,
other.
junior high, yeah, and then yep. But didn't you move away, or was you where you moved to not that far?
No, yeah, I moved away, but it wasn't. It's just the next town over.
Oh, okay. So like
So,
Northwich, New London.
so there's Hunt County, which was Greenville and Lone Oak, and then there's Rains County, which was Emory, where I lived.
Okay.
Um, those were the three places that I lived. Now I'm in Tyler, which is up northeast past all that.
So when you got out of school, what high school, what was your first job since you had
So I
to work?
framing houses with my cousin Ray Woodard.
Okay.
He taught me how to build houses from ground up. I started out as a helper, um, just toting boards, man, carrying boards, keeping, all the framers going throughout the day, keeping them loaded up with tools, keeping them loaded up with nails and whatever else they needed. Then I started learning to walk top plate, hanging up roof, building walls, him and I went on to, so I did that all the way through until I actually moved to Connecticut in 98.
Okay.
I moved to Connecticut, and my first job up in Connecticut was a framing job. I worked with this dude out of Jewett City that had his own construction company. I worked with him until I got a job at Foxwoods.
Oh, okay. So now, before you left Texas, you didn't get in no trouble after that, or
No, I did.
you did?
So, yeah, so
What was
no,
what age and what time was the first time you really caught a charge?
So
And
well, the only
what was it
time,
for?
all right, so yeah, so the first time I caught a charge was when I got to Connecticut.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
mean, I had been arrested probably about 30 times for disorderly conduct.
In
Um,
in Texas or here?
in Texas, yeah, in
Okay.
Texas.
So
So I've had,
they don't do nothing for them kind of charges or
so it's a fine.
oh okay, okay. Expensive?
It was $100 fine back then. You spent the
Oh.
night in jail, and then you paid $100 fine, and you got the disorderly conduct for having a fist fight. You know,
Oh,
if
okay,
you're
okay.
above the age of 17, then you can go to jail and pay the $100 fine for disorderly conduct. And
Okay.
I fought, dude. I always fought.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm from Mass, bro.
Yeah,
We throw,
yeah.
you
You
know,
asshole.
you know.
Asshole. So you meet the kids' moms um after you met her, and did you guys start dating right away or did you guys just become friends and stuff?
So we started talking to each other right away. And at that time, she had Johnny, my oldest. Johnny wasn't my biological daughter. Johnny was 6 months old when I met Janine, or when I
Oh, so she was already pregnant when you guys got together, or
yeah, she was pregnant. Well, she had already had the baby with
already
her.
had her? Yeah, it's all right. I don't know why that went over my head.
Yeah, Johnny was 6 months old when I came into her life. So when Janine and I started dating, I met Johnny, and dude, I fell in love with Johnny. And like, I thought she was the cutest little baby in the world, and I couldn't believe her daddy didn't want nothing to do with her, man. You know what I mean? Like it pissed me off that her dad was such a loser father. Like he denied her. He wouldn't help Janine out any. So it just drew me closer to Janine. You know what I mean? Like I love Janine anyways. I mean, I like Janine a lot, but the thought of being a father to this little girl that didn't have a daddy, like was what attracted me to her. You know what I mean? I had an opportunity to help this little girl have a daddy, and it felt good to help her out.
How old were you guys then? At this
I, I was 17 and Janine was 18.
okay, all right. So you got a little older lady then.
You know what I mean?
That's how you
Now I'm
do,
feeling
bro.
all,
That's how you do.
and I was feeling all
Okay.
cool,
Okay.
you know.
So trading the, you know.
She was robbing the cradle, and I was feeling good about it.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I know because she looks 10 years younger than me.
Yeah, for real, bro.
For
I'm not
real,
gonna
bro.
lie, she's bad.
She's
But
a good looking.
yeah, she is very pretty.
She
Uh,
is.
so you guys meet now. Did she go to Connecticut with you?
She did. So her and I moved to Commerce, Texas. Well, we lived together. Um, Jordan was born. Well, she got pregnant with Jordan.
Oh, okay. So you
Um,
guys were still down there. You had the one kid.
yeah, we had Johnny
I'm gonna
already.
say the one kid, even though she's not your blood. All right, she's still your kid,
She's my
blood or
kid. Yeah,
not. All right.
she's my baby. I've
So you
always
had
Johnny.
your first daughter with her, and then you
And
guys
then
before you
we
started moving in together. How long were you all together?
we were together for about I'd say about 6 months.
6 months, and then you got an apartment and all that because you had your job, right? Freeman.
Well, well, I was working the whole time anyways, and Janine was working. She worked for the post office. Back
Okay.
then, she was like a letter sorter, like she sorted out the mail and stuff.
Okay.
Um, I would watch Johnny while she was working, and hung out. Janine lived with her parents, so I would go over there and visit with her for a while. Like we stayed with each other. I'd stay the night over there, she'd stay the night over at my house, until we decided that we were going to be a couple.
Oh.
Um,
Now your
Once
parents
we
were all
did,
right. Were you guys sleeping over each other's house? Because I know you say your dad was real religious, right? He got
yeah, my parents weren't. I mean, they knew that I was a father to Johnny,
yeah.
so they started to accept it more
Oh, okay.
when I they never accepted that shit before, but until
All
I
right.
got with Janine,
That's what's
they
up.
were like, okay, he's planning to have a future. So
That's cool
They-
that they were that
man.
understanding, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we got them shirts too. You guys want to buy a shirt? Hit up me at Stevie J.
You need to lie cause you wanna look cool, be authentic. If you ran the streets, tell the story how it really went. Because somebody like me might know how it really